Morning Detour on the Mighty CKT 913 FM. That's what's going on now.
Hey, yeah, someone doesn't engage you in the way that you believe they should. You know, like, this is arrogant. You act like you're above everybody. Like, no, I just don't want to argue with you about stupid shit.
But it's me that gets devoured. What you do?
C'est bon, Nasser? Nasser, quand tu arrives derrière dans le parking, appelle-moi sur vidéo. Je vais checker la vanne derrière, pas sur le fond. Juste appelle-moi sur vidéo quand tu vas à la vanne. Merci.
Thomas?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, so the music.
Detour Friday. Okay, so
you want music 20? You want the second thing music? You want music 21? Save the Connie back to 8 o'clock. And yeah, you can play anything in whatever order.
Every night for some hours, and hours, and hours, and hours, and hours. I could do this for hours, and hours, and hours. I could do this for hours, and hours, and
no hope. What about all the other ones? These single songs, no?
Which one? No, you don't touch it. I really don't.
Look at you for hours, making love to you for hours, laying on your chest for hours, telling you jokes for hours, holding your clothes for hours, and
Yes. Good morning, Montreal. It's a cold Friday. It's dark. You wait all week for this. The #1 morning show in the country. This is the Morning Detour. DJ Maddie's back. Lorena XO.
All I'm gonna say is thank God. Instrumentals, right? That's it, right?
Huh?
Music 221 instrumental.
Yeah.
That's ads. That's it.
Yeah, instrumental 2022.
This they're really trying to play with me, eh?
Oh.
The forces, bro. I'm not a joke right now, bro. Cause look, I have to log out, log in. Trying to run. Not gonna work tonight. Instrumental 2021. Music
No, the instrumental is not the
2022, right?
Yeah.
2022. And ads is there. Ad music. Instrumental 2022. Oh.
Yeah, give me instrumental. I'm gonna do a quick intro after the song. Then you play some music throw it in the comments. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I can't just talk to myself.
Why?
Oh, I can. Well,
Aren't you Turtle and Weezy?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's not. She has one more show after this. Woo!
Let's bring me a little bit, man. Let's have to. It's an instrumental, right?
Yeah, give me an instrumental and then we'll start. You can play something for my thing or you can just run your thing. You might go a little 10 minutes.
Wow.
Okay, you don't have that.
Yeah, I have it, but
I'll play something.
Something special for you, huh?
Oh, you gotta play it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta add too much.
Alright,
You see me, I'm still like a bossy. Oh yeah, hey. You see the street I'm saucy. Oh yeah, hey. Every time you see me, I'm glossy, yeah. Oh yeah, till I'm on tip. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. Feel like I'm on tip. Oh yeah, I'm right. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right.
Yes. Good morning, Montreal. Oh man, it's dark. It's January 21st. I feel like this year is just flying right by. If you're new to the show for the next 2 hours, we'll give you the best in news, reviews, and interviews. I'm waiting for Louis and Axel to drop in here, boy. The madness. It's been cold. I've seen 18 accidents every day this week. We're still dealing with COVID and the pandemic. The madness continues. I'm real nervous, DJ Matty. Healthcare is going to be at like a B rating now. You know what I mean? Because we're so overwhelmed now. Man, I got a funeral tomorrow, boy. The madness. We have a lot of deaths this week as well, man. Just personally, I heard about 4 or 5 deaths already. It's mad. This morning, we're going to talk about, we got some Morning Detour merch. All morning, you can call in on the line, 514-448-4013. We're going to give away some B condoms. You know, when you call up, let people, let the city know what's your favorite show, what's your favorite station, the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM. We got 2 amazing guests this morning. We have a Black author, Zuri Blessed. She wrote a book, Letters to the Father, Pause, Reflect, and Praise. We also have Dr. Lodi Jerome Majuska. I apologize if I messed up her last name. She's an associate professor in genetics at McGill University. They're doing the B-STEM 2022 from January 30th to February 2nd. So that's the Black Excellence in Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, Medicine, and Health. That's what we needed, DJ Maddie. We needed that madness right there. So she can come up here and tell us what they're going to do. They have keynote talks. They have a career fair. They have a leadership summit. You know, Blacks have been performing at a high excellence in science and technology and engineering and mathematics for a long time. So it's been a good vibe. I want to talk about Valentine's Day this morning. You know, we're going to have some giveaways, some baskets, some stuff. But man, it's cold. Man, it's cold. 7:21 in the morning. It's the morning detour. I think I'll run some too. DJ Man, you got something there for me yet? We gonna go to it. And I'm trying to ask myself, I should ask Louise if she should go to a 4-hour for Valentine's Day. But we got nothing but guest hosts coming up in February. It's gonna be Black Excellence at its finest. We got a lot of top news going on in the world right now too. Some things we're gonna talk about. In the Fresh Face 5, we talk about the SAQ. I don't know if you heard about this, the Quebec worker that punched the client. They got frustrations are at an all-time high over this COVID thing. So, and then you also have, you know, hospitalizations over. It's really, really crazy. You have about 88 new deaths from COVID-19, but only 8 more hospitalization. You know, this vaccine passport for Walmart and Costco and SAQ. This ain't gonna bode well, DJ Maddie. This ain't gonna bode well at all. This ain't gonna bode well at all. So we have all that going on as well. So we'll talk about that on the news segment. And a very alarming news here, more than 1 in 4 Canadians support jail time for unvaccinated poll. A poll finds that. So y'all want to lock up the unvaccinated. This thing is not even a cure. You know what I mean? Nobody's even said if it even protects you against Omicron because we just don't know. The Quebec government is like a high school class when your regular teacher doesn't come in and you have a substitute teacher and everybody just runs the muck. No one's listening to the guy up front. We didn't even catch his name. Legault. Also, prosecutors seek to keep Montreal man on crusade against COVID-19. They want to keep him behind bars. He's racked up, DJ Maddie, about $60,000 worth in fines. He said he's not paying none of that. Canada approved the Paxlovid Pfizer new oral COVID pill. So now they say they have an oral pill now. So we have vaccines, we got a booster, now we got an oral pill. No, that's not enough. In the States, they just came out with a COVID-19 detector. It's a wearable, fresh air clip, can detect the virus, according to studies. We'll talk about that in a second. Certainly, Quebec lost a service weapon. I guess this is where all the kids are getting a weapon to kill, shoot down the plane. I know what's going on. Oh, man, what a morning. So you ready for me, DJ Maddie? Pastor Gardens to the Galaxy. We back in the building, man. It's 7:15 in the morning. When we come back, me and Lorena will do the Fresh Face Fridays brought to you by CG Med Spa. You know how we do things. The Morning Detour on the Mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
You hear me?
I don't really understand. Yeah. Montreal, my city. It's the Morning Detour. Guardians of the Galaxy. DJ Maddie. Moon 1. Let's go. What's going on, Rita? You already know. You can bring it closer. There's only one more thing. Yeah. Nobody's this unnecessarily seeing more trucks. But my only truck is hip hop. Love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the Mighty CKT 90.3 FM. Yeah, DJ Maddie going like it's Valentine's Day ready. You getting in the vibe right here, hey? It's that baby making music. I don't know if we're gonna go to work this morning. We'll call in sick. It's It's minus $1 billion outside. More detail. Let's go.
Play something people never hear in a while, you know? Want to play a couple of people never hear in a while?
Yeah, all right. Yo, this guy's stressing me, man. Yo, I already talked to the guy. I told the guy when he gets outside, to video call me. I guess he hasn't gone outside. Guys, can press me with a van back there, bro. Like, yo. Like, I'm fucking live on air, bro. I think your mic is on. Yeah, he said he's going downstairs in 5 minutes.
Hold it. Hold it.
I'll call him, Mike. Yeah, I got the mic on. Oh. Fuck. My bad, Larry.
And we gonna take this over. Yeah. Feels like a taking life was so high. World, feels like it's breaking world. So feels like a taking life was so high. Won't you wait on me? I said, won't you? I just want. Decision was a mistake. You probably don't care what I have to say. It's been heavy on my mind for months now. Guess I'm trying to clear some mental space. I would love to talk to you in person, but I understand why that can't be. I'll leave you alone for good, I promise. You answer this one question for me. I just wonder, do you ever?
Good morning, Montreal. You're not locked into the Morning Detour. 7:20 in the morning. It's the mighty CKT 90.3 FM. Guardians of the Galaxy, DJ Maddie.
First off, let me say congratulations. Heard that you just had a baby girl. I'll always think of you inside of my private thoughts. Can't imagine me touching my private heart. And just the thought of you can't help but touch myself. That's why I want you so bad. And this one night I wanna tell you there beside me all night. Do it again and again. You know I want you so bad, baby, 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 ooh, baby. Ooh, I get so high when I'm around you, baby. I can touch the sky. You make my temperature rise. You're making me
I'm addicted to money, but allergic to love. She got on her own, she addicted to thugs. See some sex in the city, don't get carried away. Ricky smoother than Big, let's get married today. We like Biggie and Faith, no more Charlie and Kim. Don't be thinking it's gravy, no one cooler than him. Yes, I'm ready to live, but I'm ready to die. Fuck the money I got, guess I'm a regular guy. One crib, 20 rooms, playing hide and seek, 20-minute interludes. She like it in the pool. She not a sucker, she let me fuck her in tennis shoes.
with the kiss. Never expecting this. Never me coping with my addiction. Started out with the kiss. Never expecting this. Never me coping with my addiction. While all the girls say, I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. You're my addiction. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. I'm addicted to you. You're my addiction. When I'm looking in the mirror, honey, you are all I see. Yeah. And it could not be no clearer that I need you here with me. You feel it? Let's go. I was hoping you'd notice the way that I like to have you around, yeah. Listen, and you will find that your heart beats for me. Till I hear the sound, and it only gets better. It started off with the kiss. Never expecting this. Never me coping with my addiction. Started off with the kiss. Never expecting this. Never me coping with my.
There's only one more, Jason. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. We love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
Yes. Good morning, Montreal. Let me turn on this other thing here, man. So you can catch us live on YouTube, on Facebook, the Morning Detour. You know, you guys want to see Lorena and her cold, the coldness. Lorena.
It's cold outside.
And you're never that big of a person. Like, does the cold hit you different? Like, does it go through your skin to your bones?
Well, yeah.
Well, soon I won't be able to walk anymore. I've been feeling it. I broke my foot paintballing a couple of years ago. I got like 12 screws on my right foot. Yo, I'm starting to feel it. I was having problems to walk out. Like what's gonna happen? Like my foot's gonna freeze.
Well, it's probably the weather too. You know,
is it real metal?
Well,
the screws?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Why can't I get some like bicarbonate stuff like what they use on spaceships?
They didn't get there yet. But yeah, you know, like certain weather affects people with their bones. Like when it rains and stuff like that, people, you know, their knees hurt a little bit more than normal.
I'm one of those guys. So what's gonna happen when I get into my 60s and 70s? I'm gonna have a walker. I'm gonna be in a wheelchair.
But I think that's why it's so important to, you know, still be like mobile and like work out and exercise and stretch.
Yeah, Lorena's like, you're gonna be in a wheelchair. Well, good.
No, you're not gonna be in a wheelchair as long as you know keep moving.
What's wrong with these guys? They're trying to move cars this early in the morning. Yep. They're reckless. How do you feel so far about the way they've cleaned up the snow after the storm the other day?
Depends what area you live in.
You live in those low income areas. It's kind of different.
Yeah.
Well, good morning to you, Lorena. We have a great show. So how's your week been? Hopefully you stayed inside with the warm heater because this has been a brutal one.
Yeah, this week was crazy. For the most part. Yeah, inside in the warmth.
a nice glass of wine.
No wine. Just tea. Staying warm with my tea.
Listen, the hospitals are overwhelmed, so they don't want you to go there. They're sending home the take-home test, but they're telling you that the take-home tests are not
accurate.
That's the proper word. Super accurate. The schools are in shambles. We sent the kids back, and not all the schools have the proper ventilation and stuff. So it's a weird place. It's a very, very weird place. I think Quebec, the population of Quebec, I think we reached our breaking point. I think if one more person tells me "ça va bien aller," they're gonna get punched in the face. It is not going well at all. It is not going well at all. And every day I try to put myself in the government's shoes and try to ask myself, okay, how could we have gone about this differently? And the only solution I come to is that all the major leaders in the world should have got together at the UN or virtually, whatever, and come together with a plan all together. Like everybody doing their own kind of thing just doesn't work.
Well, yeah, they're not united. A lot of leaders from different countries are kind of having a little beef right now. So
that was my fear. For countries that have strife against each other, are they going to, say I'm one country and I found something. I have a solution. Am I going to share with another country that I have beef with on other issues? That's what I'm saying. They're not going to put humanity over their own personal.
Which they should, because that should be their job, right?
Well, this is why we have Zuri Blessed on the show. We're going to talk about the Bible a little bit. So, what did she say? I had it in my notes here. She said, pause, reflect, and praise.
There you go. The 3 Ps.
Lorena, you would have been a good deaconess or pastor yourself. I would have gone to your church.
Maybe, but you'll see in my segment the people at church were getting a little out of hand, a little wild, a little too wild for me.
Oh man! So let's go into it. Fresh Face Fridays.
Why does it sound like the end of the world is coming?
Yo, well, look behind you. Like every truck, it's like all the guys woke up. Like all the guys woke up here a little bit. So let's do the Fresh Face Fridays. Brought to you by Synergy Med Spa. Fresh Face Fridays, Synergy Med Spa. Beautiful place. You get your face peels, your body sculpting, your laser removal, amongst many different things. Synergy Med Spa. So Quebec liquor store employee allegedly punches customer multiple times after mass disagreement. So Quebec's alcohol retailer, the SAQ, has suspended one of its cashiers who allegedly punched the customer multiple times in the head on Thursday. The fight broke out after the customer refused to be served by a cashier who allegedly was not wearing a mask. He said, "No, in these troubling times, if you're not wearing a mask, I don't want you to serve me." But I'm pretty sure there's other instances where this customer was around someone that was serving him who didn't have a mask. But at the SAQ, they wanted to kick up. So Gosselin had been waiting in line at SAQ in Montreal North when he says he heard the unmasked cashier mocking public health measures. Okay, this is what this is about. Okay, you didn't like his stance. So Gosselin says he heard the cashier brag that his girlfriend is unvaccinated. He asked to be served by someone else. So the other worker said he wasn't going to serve him, which is like crazy now. So what? Everybody that works, because that happened to me too. I was at the hospital going to the second cup. I had to pull down my mask. I was talking to one of my drivers.
And then what?
Speaking of one of my drivers, hold on 1 second, this here. I was talking to one of my drivers, and he's like, pull up my mask. Like, what you tell me what to do, bro? I live with the COVID stuff. Like, I work in the office next to all the files that comes with a radioactive stamp on it. I've been putting myself in harm's way. So, I gave him some words.
Yeah, but they don't know your life.
So I gave him some words, and he refused to serve me. That's the most embarrassing thing around nurses and doctors. So anyways, back to the SQ guy. The other worker said they wasn't going to serve him. They called the manager. The manager concurred with them. So Gosselin slammed the phone, and that was that. Oh, that's all she wrote. Hands was out. So let me ask you here this morning. Who was in the wrong here? The customer or the worker?
It's tough because a lot of people are living in fear. So they probably should have had the mask on, even though there's been so many reports that does say the mask doesn't do anything. And then also too, you don't know like when the stores close, like what are these employees doing?
Well, this thing with SAQ, right? SAQ workers don't have to be vaccinated, but everybody that comes there has to be vaccinated.
Yeah. Which
And this
doesn't make sense.
And this is the problem with Quebec, right? Like, you want people to follow you guys. You want us to be ça va bien aller, ça va bien aller. I don't know why the rainbow was the icon we chose for this. It should have just been the poop emoji.
I think it was a kid that chose that.
It should have been the poop emoji because it's been a shitstorm. So let's have everything line up together. So we have to be vaccinated to go to SAQ, but the workers don't have to be. Make it make sense. The math is not mathing.
No, but it's been like that from the jump. In the restaurants, the employees don't have to be vaccinated, and the people that go there have to be vaccinated. It doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
But for some reason, the people are okay with that. But they do want the unvaccinated to be taxed.
There's a revolution on hold here. It's coming. A civil unrest. That's the proper vernacular. Civil unrest. Let's play some music. I want to talk to you about some of the news articles. It's getting dicey out here. DJ Maddie, take me out. There's only one more chaser. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. Love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
Go! There's nothing there! Go!
Yeah. Right here, Morning Detour. Man, you feel in the building?
Hold on. That's how you feeling this morning, DJ Maddie? The viewership is going up. You can catch us live. We on Facebook. Hey, we on YouTube, The Morning Detour. Montreal, my city, man. We are strong. We are resilient. I've been many places in the world. Ain't nowhere like Montreal, I promise you. Beautiful women, good food. Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. DJ Matt, he loaded this morning. Hey.
I'm in Josie. Won't call if you want one Josie. I'm not playing with you, I'm not joking. My daughter, mom is loaded. Me, you think back up, but I'm on duty, but I'm on low key. They want do me, they want do me, but they want. When you won't want me, I'm in San Francisco, Jammy. When you won't want me, I just flew in from Miami. Baby, Baboon, yeah, man. Cartoon, yeah, man. Hey, Maddie Phillips, how you going? Feeling the nice, I saw the go. Henny on the brain, cause she not on the show, say they pan fire belly. Fatter than him laptop with my song, him tell a gal him what for cry, deny him man, just feeling nice, I saw him go on. Yo. Come to the baboon, yeah, man, the cartoon, yeah, man. Baboon, yeah, man.
Yeah, give me something for the ladies, DJ Maddie.
Father, Maddie, we shoot, man.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Baboon, yeah, man.
It's the best morning show in the country.
Cartoon,
It's a shame we don't do this every day. Let's go.
Feeling the nice, I saw the go on. Henny on the brain, cause she not on the show, say they pan fire belly. Fatter than him laptop with my song, him tell a gal him what for cry, deny him man, just when he nice, I saw him go on. Young general, I saw you go on. Boss, I gonna carry alarm, police come to corner gun. Leaving, I'm the lice, bro.
Bobo Vanessa, so we go on. Rex Deal and Malta no. Father Maddy head chip, Glock and dime close. Him not live for please nobody. If I'm not picking, not compose. Money make him happy, but him and boy and list souls. In a house a plan of goals. Here rather buy a rose. But wait and call a couple lows. Keep them green magic for them nose. Cause when God see you general, them so good and all the toes. Don't know what and all your hoes. Hey, Father Maddy, this one is for the lady, yeah. Oh, yeah. She said it's so far, yeah. And she is leaving me tomorrow, yeah. She's not coming back at my home. She's gone, yeah. She leave me.
Hold on. You can't play like regular people. Legato!
We don't want for easy. Oh.
Well easy.
Yeah. Young general. Hey, Father Maddy, this one is for the lady, yeah. Oh, yeah. She said it's so far, yeah. And she is leaving me tomorrow, yeah. She's not coming back at my home. She's gone on her own. She leave me by myself all alone. But I do anything for her. She won't do the same. No, you. She break my heart and gone alone. She hurt my feelings, but I'm
Montreal,
gonna
Trinidad, UK, US. I asked the Bush Dog from St. Mary. I represent for the best sound out there. Maddy Phillips, toughest. Mr. Bush. Your guns, Maddy Phillips, now seek validation. Close and admiration. From you now, your patrons. Boasting about name brands. But cost over 8 grand. Scabba G have the same ones. For the cost of a straight pants. Father Maddy, why own a Ferrari? With nowhere to park it, boy. Why shop a Louis V when there is a target? Maddy Phillips sounds right. Maddy Phillips, I asked the Bush that represent. For Scabba G, Father Maddy, Montreal, Trinidad, UK, US. I asked the Bush that from St. Mary. I represent for the best sound out there.
6714 Field is
Maddy
the Morning
Phillips,
Detour.
toughest.
Legato.
Mr. That Bush.
God is the guy.
Pagans, Maddy Phillips now seek validation. Close and admiration. From you now, your patrons. Boasting about name brands. But cost over 8 grand. Scabba G have the same ones. For the cost of a straight pants. Father Maddy, why own a Ferrari? With nowhere to park it, boy. Why shop a Louis V when there is a target? Maddy Phil sounds very feisty. Them a fit, them a save it. Them go fend if it trendy. Bank account can't empty. Maddy Phillips, haters over markets. Link your wife when you want sex. Cause when side y'all breed up, child support that lead to a farming over flossing, investment over braffing, inheritance for your seeds. It's alright, they mean Maddy Phillips. If you are 50 and never make a bring sled use, means you're poor so your kids next to employment you use as a big excuse. Never play sound till in get.
There's only one more chase. Nobody's this hype this early. They say I'm on drugs. Only drug is hip hop. Love this life. Morning Detour on the Mighty CKT 94.3 FM.
Just for the record. Just for the record. If they like the job of the tomato, then you go catch up. Oh, yeah, come back now. I saw blame them all. You could do your one time, but before one time, I'm to my mess. Anything you wish, that be a passion. Bad man, no the walker. Man, no be God. Make them the talker. I saw they fly like a helicopter. Nobody grace of God and inshallah with the move. Question, but then no get the answer. 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 Answer. That's not what I do. Yeah, cause I love when you move.
See green light when I look at you. Last time I take picture with you. Now my cassava way you dey look. Last time I know see what you do. See when we go get it wild like Chilesu. Got the money constant. Anything you wish, that be a passion. Bad man no the walk, man no be God. Make them the talk. I see the lie.
Yes. You know we smooth it out. It's the Morning Detour.
I find you, I give you what
With Kid.
I know what you like.
DJ Manny, talk to me with. Oh. Ain't nobody going to work this morning now. He's on curl up with your girl like mine's 31 outside.
Yeah.
We don't care about no COVID, no Omicron. We'll still push forward. The more detail will guide you too. Yeah.
But I need you now. Yeah. I find you, I give you what you need. I know what you like. I feel it coming. Time is of the essence. I try to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to get better. I try to live, but I can't. I don't know why you're the one. Turn me out of my mind. You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body. Only you feel on my body. Only you feel on my body. You don't need no other body.
Say I made it mess up my mind, and I made it make you free up your mind. Say your body talk to me nice. Say now my love you didn't need for your life. Yeah, I love no be lie. Say every day together, yeah, day and night. Yeah, if I leave you go by. Yeah, if you leave I go stroking your body, baby. Loving your body, baby. As you're whining your body, baby. So crazy. Loving your body, baby. Girl, you want need to me. I just wanna let you know. Hope every day
You don't need no other body. You don't need no other body.
There's only one more chase. Nobody's this hype this early. They say I'm on drugs. Only drug is hip-hop. Love this life. The Morning Detour on the Mighty CK.
No other body, baby. Everybody's the same. No one loves you like that. No one wants you the same way.
back to the morning.
There's only one more chase. Nobody's this hype this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. Love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the Mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
It's time to make an appointment for your booster dose against COVID-19. Visit quebec.ca/COVID vaccine to follow the vaccination sequence plan for your area and book your appointment online. To continue protecting yourself against COVID-19 and its variants, get a booster dose and keep following distancing measures, wearing a mask, and washing your hands. The booster dose, the best way to stay protected longer. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
Good. Great. Not bad at all. Okay. Tickety-boo. Fine, thanks. All good. It's going gangbusters. Just great. When people ask us how we're doing, we often say fine, even if it's not always the case. If you aren't fine, say something. To get help, call Info Social 811, because talking is the first step towards getting better. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
In the case of symptoms similar to those of COVID-19, such as fever, cough, sore throat, loss of taste, or smell, you should take a rapid home screening test. If you test positive, isolate yourself at home and please follow the self-isolation instructions. If you don't have a rapid home screening test, please self-isolate for the recommended period. Visit quebec.ca/self-isolating for complete instructions on how to protect yourself and others. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
There's only one more chaser. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. You love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM. Good morning, Montreal, 7:45 in the morning. You're now locked into the Morning Detour. Weezy Moon chasing alongside Lorena XO, DJ Maddie on the ones and twos. The madness, Lorena. The mad. We play all these COVID commercials, but we stay trashing it. We stay trashing the thing.
I mean,
Okay, let's get into it, man. I don't know how you feel about these numbers, but Quebec reports 88 new deaths from COVID-19, but only 8 more hospitalizations. Like, how do they count this? 8 more, there's only 8 more hospitalizations. That's what we're dealing with.
the numbers aren't real.
So hospital turnovers also remains quite high with 359 new admittance. There are also many discharges, however, leading to the small net increase. Overall, those hospital numbers continue to strain Quebec to its maximum capacity with 3,425 people currently in hospital for the virus and 285 in intensive care. On Tuesday, health authorities also released a guide for hospitals on how to decrease the overall level of care in coming days if they do max out their capacity. So, in short, you're not going to get that A+ care. Because there's so much people, everyone's going to get like a B grade joint. Like, it's not an iPhone, it's like an iPhone, but it's written with a Y.
Oh, my God.
That's what you're going to get. This is nerve-wracking. It's a state of emergency.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling people that, they're turning people away, telling them to take tests at home. You're giving like a G care in the hospitals. It's scary. Don't hurt yourself now. And it's winter time.
No, it's a really scary time, especially when it comes to your health. There's so many people, unfortunately, that are suffering from different things.
Yeah. And
like surgeries have been postponed.
Exactly.
And all these different things are happening. So I don't know. Like you said, it is a scary time.
Surgery being postponed. Well, according to the government, in good news, Tuesday was a big day for vaccines with almost 115,000 shots given out. A total of 35% of Quebecers now have their boosters.
Okay, so those were for the booster shot.
You see how they play with the words right there? See, we don't read all the way through. Oh my gosh, you need to go get it. Listen, man, it's not a cure, but they say it's the best measure against it. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about the vaccine passport for big box stores? Some people say it's going to hurt those Quebec margins, according to certain critics. So you have Costco, you have Walmart, you have SAQ, Canadian Tire
as well.
And black, white, purple, green. We love some Canadian Tire.
Not me, but okay.
You got beef for Canadian Tire?
I never like Canadian Tire. I don't like the setup. It frustrates me.
Lemina's just different. Hold on, we got to talk about this a little bit. What's your beef for Canadian Tire? It's
really like the design of the store. Like when you go in there, you can never find what you really want. It's always a mess. It's like a maze. I don't like it at all. Like,
what's that Disney movie with the maze? Yeah, it's called The Maze.
Oh,
I think it's called The Maze.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
So in a bid to persuade COVID-19 vaccine holdouts to get the jab, Quebec Premier François Legault announced last week the government has expanded the vaccine mandate to include large surface retail stores that don't sell primarily groceries, including Costco, Canadian Tire, and Walmart. I'm done with SAQ too. Like I go by, I get my things from Lala. I try thing all day. But however, Jean-Guy Côté, executive director of the Quebec Retail Council, this is the director of the Retail Council. Lorena, we need to get more. Lorena, we need to get more titles. Everybody got one. Said in the face of the Omicron variant spread, large retailers are up against their own staffing challenges. I heard of one Bell store where all the staff got sick and only 2 could work, so they just made them work like double shifts.
That's insane.
I don't need it that bad.
That's insane.
I'll work my regular 8.5, 7 shift, 7 hours shift, depending on how the breaks spanned out, but I'm not doing all that. There are more than 25,000 people missing from the retail sector in Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
They've been talking about getting parents to go fill in for teachers that are sick.
Which makes absolutely no sense.
Imagine DJ Maddie teaching the class. Maddie, what are you going to teach? Your mic is on. What are you going to teach in the class? This guy facts of life. I don't know. I got a facts of life from you, fam. This guy's a wild one. But look at the propaganda. More than 1 in 4 Canadians
support jail time for the unvaccinated, according to a new poll. I'm not sure about that.
That's wild. I want to know, who are they surveying? Like, who's getting these questions?
Maru surveyed an online panel of 1,506 Canadians. A comparable probability sample of the same size has a margin of error of plus minus 2.5%. Us that are that didn't take 436 math. We have no idea how to quantify this.
Where's this email list? Like, how can I join? I don't understand.
Yeah, they surveyed an online panel. So I don't know I don't know how you Montrealers feel about it. But to jail someone for a vaccine that hasn't proven to be a cure, it's just another measure against COVID-19. Like, I don't understand. Like, you're trying to force people because you believe this is the best way to do things.
I don't agree with it.
Look at the way they run the problems. We can, we did a report on systemic racism and still no changes. So why would you think they'll get the vaccine right or the management of the vaccine right? They don't care.
Not at all.
The poll also asked what kind of punitive measures they just put in place, and they're saying people should lose their license until they get vaccinated. Well, the drama continues. The prosecutors seek to keep Montreal man on a crusade against COVID-19 measures behind bars. So prosecutors are asking the court to detain a Montreal man who's on a crusade against the Quebec government's COVID-19 measures. François Amelega Betondo returned to court Tuesday after he was arrested Sunday night while demonstrating outside the Radio-Canada building where Premier François Legault was given an interview.
Yeah, I think he's been protesting for a long time.
Girl, he racked up $60,000 worth of fines. He said he didn't pay none of that.
He shouldn't.
And he's no fool. Like he's a former CJEP teacher. And he's been front and center in the protest movement against government public health measures and against the vaccine demonstration, demonstrating outside stores, schools, and even hospitals, which was prohibited by the government in the fall. Like, months ago, I was like, okay, we're living in North Korea. Like free speech is out there. Like, even though, okay, you guys have this mandate, the government's pushing this vaccine thing, you should still allow people to express themselves.
But that's what the issue is. People have always been able to do a protest as long as it wasn't like, messing up, like looting stores and like breaking stuff. It was fine. But this is a lot.
Oh, I got more for you. Canada approved the Paxlovid. Yo, who comes up with these names? The Paxlovid Pfizer new oral COVID pill. So the approval comes as Canada grapples with the Omicron-fueled surge of COVID-19 cases, with over 360,000 new cases of the variant confirmed across the country so far, though that's considered to be an underestimate. So last week we talked about how you guys play with the numbers. Now we got numbers new this week, and you guys saying that this is the number we're throwing out there, but we might be lowballing it. And then you tell me ça va bien aller.
Well, they got to make up for before when they were over-exaggerating on the numbers. So now they got to balance it out and then give you hope.
It will potentially blunt the severity of the illness, which is the key goal. The operative word here is potentially. Ça va bien aller, Lorena. Ça va bien aller. In clinical trial data submitted to Health Canada, the drug was found to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death by 89%, according to Dr. Supriya Sharma, the chief medical advisor. How you feel about that? Yeah, Lorena's not convinced. Yo, there's too much probability. I feel like I'm in a Harry Potter movie. In one of the Harry Potter movies, Hogwarts, the school that he goes to, gets overrun by I guess the hierarchy, like the Ministry of Magic, which comparable to this will be the CAC Legault government.
Yep.
And it just got real strict and it got real crazy. People are gonna act out. I'm scared for things to come. I'm scared because we can't keep having this thing where we have some kind of normalcy from spring to like early November, and then after we go back into this lockdown thing. Like, this is crazy. Like, if he brings another curfew, this place is gonna erupt. It makes no sense. I'm gonna get on the motorbike right here on DG Gigs and ride out. and let me say this.
But where are you going?
Oh, we'll get to that. I'm going to I'm going to the lake house. I'm gonna get with Kaya Pesh. I'm gonna learn how to forage, start my own fire. I just want to be one of those guys on a lake house by like a little river by myself.
Okay.
I'll probably get attacked and shot by some white hunters at some point, but who knows? But you make me get away from my point. Oh man, I was gonna tell you something, but you made me forget it now. But anyways, we'll go to the air clip. So COVID-19 detector wearable fresh air clip can detect virus. So researchers at Yale Public, for those who don't know, me and Lorena, we've actually partied with people from Yale back in our Connecticut run years. Remember that? Did? Yeah, we partied from people from. Remember, Yale's right across the street from Albertus Magnus. So researchers at the Yale School of Public Health developed an easy-to-clip
on device that can help detect low levels of SARS, COVID-2, and subsequently whether a person has been exposed. So this clip's gonna do all of that, huh?
I guess.
This is some Star Trek-ish right here. So according to the study published January 11th in a peer-reviewed online journal Environmental Science and Technology Letters, the device captures the virus-laden aerosols that deposit on a, I can't even say it, polydimethylsiloxane. There's like 52 letters. Yo, it's PDMS surfaces. We don't call it like that. How much faith do you have in the clip? I know this is a rhetorical question, but I have to ask you nonetheless.
I don't know anymore. Like I don't know.
Oh man, switching gears right now, man. Sad news, man. We lost another hero, another champion. It's always tough when we lose someone that's been so pivotal in our community. Montreal politician and actress Sonia Biddle dies after cancer diagnosis. Wow. Cancer is really a bitch, man. It's taken away a lot of good people. So Sonia Biddle, the Montreal politician, actress, and daughter of prominent jazz bassist Charlie Biddle, has died after being diagnosed with cancer. So on behalf of us at the Morning Detour, we'd like to send our condolences and our prayers to the Biddle family.
Definitely.
It's always tough when someone leaves too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, whenever somebody close to me dies, I always think to myself, I'm never going to hear that person talk. I'm never going to be able to hug that person. It's tough. For those that don't know, Biddle served on the city council as a member of Vision Montreal for the Décarie district from 1998 to 2001 and ran for borough mayor of Côte-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce in 2005. Before entering politics, she appeared in films such as The Bone Collector, Sweet Killing. She was active in the Montreal theater scene and is honorary member of the Montreal Black Theater Workshop.
Yep.
We're losing a lot of people that actually do work in the community.
We're losing a lot of giants.
A lot of giants. Another giant right here, Quebec singer-songwriter Kareem Ouellet, 37, found dead in Quebec City. So born in Dakar, Senegal, Ouellet made his debut in the music industry with his album Plume, classic, released in 2011. He went on to produce 2 other successful albums that were a mix of hip-hop, funk, and folk pop. He won several awards in the career, such as the 2014 Juno for Francophone Album of the Year for his album Fox. It's too deep. This next one is too deep for us to get into, but I'm going to get into it in February, June, March break. But Florida bill would ban making white people feel discomfort about racist history. Yo, and it's multiple states. So the Republican bill called Individual Freedom would prohibit private businesses and public schools from training staff or students about racism in the U.S. history in a way that makes them feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any form of psychological distress on account of his or her race. Wow. They don't even want them to talk about slavery no more. They don't want...
No, because they want to erase... It's what they always do, right. Erase our history. So then generations later don't really know what happened in the past. It's something I feel that keeps going on over and over again. And of course, this is something that would, come out of Florida because Florida's a wild place.
I love me some sunshine.
I love the sunshine too. Like I go to Florida for vacations and stuff like that, but wild stuff be happening in Florida.
I think we have Tamara and Zupa coming on the show, I think the first Friday in February. So we're going to talk about this as well. Because what this is based talking about is the critical race theory and how they want to, they're taking aim at the critical race theory. I don't think, real short, I don't think this is the right move right here.
Mm-mm. But it always happens.
It's crazy, man. Montreal, my city, keep a lot. Coming up next, we have Lorena with community updates, entertainment news.
Yep.
We still can't do parties anyways. I don't know what's going on.
Well, there's some stuff happening that people could, do.
We got a lot of new music this morning. I'm coming out. I'm playing that Kanye. We're gonna go off this morning. It's the Montreal. It's Morning Detour on the MyCKT 9.3 FM. There's only one more, Jason. Nobody is this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip hop. We love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
Pinky ring, we're about to hit these. You told my Lambo that's drippy. But I left the bottom, that's your tipsy. Can't trust these cause they're hippie. I know that your best friend gon' slide now. But they in my house, that's survive now. Pulling on these like LeBron now. Just getting off the top, it's a freestyle. Hey, I'm about to run it up. I'm about to pull up in that motherfucking Billy truck. Got some bad bitches, ain't about to ain't playing, man, I put that
There's
on
only
my
one more chase.
24
Nobody is this hype.
It's your birthday. Put your hands in the air. It's your birthday.
On the Mighty CKT.
It's your birthday. You should be doing that back in the first place. It's breezy, know you heard of me. Ooh, yeah. Pinky ring, we're about to be deep. Two-tone my Lambo, that's drippy. But I left the bottle, that's a tipsy. Change your feet, cause they hippie. I know that your best friend gon' slow it down. Party in my house, that's a vibe now. Pulling on these like LeBron now. She's spitting off the top, that's a freestyle. I'm about to turn it up 100 degrees. Got my baby going up, flight overseas. I don't know where your girl at, she needs. I'm a bad boy like a Detroit Pistons. I might smash on your Mitch Richmond. Cooking up that hot shit, yeah, we in the kitchen. You been working out, girl, looking real tempting. The way you make it clap, tonight I might tell. It's your birthday, put your hands in the air, it's your birthday. And you know we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday. You should be doing that back in the first place. It's breezy, know you had a man. Ooh, yeah, you ring, we're about to be deep. Two-tone my Lambo, that's drippy. But I left the bottle, that's a tipsy. Yeah! Cause they hippie. I know that your best friend gon' slow it down. Freestyle, 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 freestyle.
Yeah, get in line. Yo. They offered 30 years, I beat it on a loophole. 2 days later, put up in a two-tone. Got sleeping on the floor like it's a group home. The only question I can see is will you move on? Got them taking off their clothes like it's the Luke show. I'm the new king of Miami, even Luke know. I got a mansion on the beach, I'm talking two boats. In my new picture of the week, I call it deep though. Deep though, yeah, she got it deep though. Baked sweats and chemists with the kilos. Drop the top and all off the hyperventilate. I gave them and then they all just turn to mental patients. Give them thirsty fences under different circumstances. Uber to my harbor, go and get some person finish. You got a dope boy, you better deal with it. Tell me them when you bleed on me, I'ma still hit it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whoa. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whoa. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whoa. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Whoa.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Them folks on you gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. If it ain't about a bag, gotta wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. With the jeans on that, you gotta wiggle, 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 wiggle,
All because of you, I be on the phone all night long. Don't be smart, see when you do it to me. Oh no, no, no. I be on my business, shawty, but you be on my mind, shawty. Let me, all of my honey, Kiss me to the cellular, kiss me to the phone. Can't you see I'm into ya? Can't you see I'm alone? Kiss me to the cellular, kiss me to the phone. Yeah, messing with my medulla. I can't don't go low. Oh no, no. Emiliano, 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 no. Emiliano, 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 no. Yo, Emiliano, 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 no. My Emiliano, 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 no.
We're back on the Morning Detour on CKUT 90.3 FM with Weezy Moon Chaser and myself, Lorena. We're going to get into some culture and entertainment news. So there's, some things that we can do. Like again.
Tubing?
Yeah, you could go tubing, you could go skating in Old Montreal. There's skiing or snowshoe at Parc Frédéric Bac. They actually have free rentals on the weekend, which is pretty cool. In Quartier de Spectacle, there is the luminotherapy that's happening until February 27th. So that is something to do as well. But there are some things happening with our community centers. So the QBBE, which is the Quebec Board of Black Educators, They are having bi-weekly workshops for parents on how to best support their child while in school. So they're going to have workshops on financial literacy, mental health, vocational training, and more. So if you're interested, you could go to qbbe.ca/PSSP to sign up for that. WIPCA is also having workshops for parents, but parents that have teenagers, that's, a little tougher to sometimes connect to your kids. So they're going to be having workshops on, school motivation, setting limits, and more. So if you do want to sign up for that, you can contact WIPCA, or the email address is super long. It's atelier.parents.ado.cccomtl@sss.gouv.qc.ca.
Lorena's gonna put it up on social media.
Yeah, because I looked at that.
We're
I'm
gonna
like,
get
that
up on the
is
social media a little bit, right?
super long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that is something that you can do if you're a parent. And then also Desta is having their Food Incubator 2022. So the applications are open until January 30th. So if you do have a food business and you're looking to expand, they will definitely help you out with that. You could go to Desta's website, which is destabyn.org, to go apply. And then also Tyndale St. George's, their application is open for the Pay It Forward Scholarship. It's open until January 28th. This will help 3 students entering university in 2022 for 3 years. So it will cover the cost of schooling for university. So that's always a good look. You could contact them as well. Their phone number is 514-931-6265. There's also the BSTEM conference that's happening January 30th to February 2nd. So we're going to hear about more about that later on in the show. But it's basically their first annual conference for Black excellence in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medicine, and health.
Yeah.
So they want to highlight Black Canadians in STEM and encourage others to, join in. And then also to Operation Black Vote Canada, again, their 2022 cohort is now open for application. So if anybody is 18 to 24, they're a Canadian resident interested in public policy, they could go to obvc.ca and apply for that, because again, we also need people in politics as well.
No, sure. Listen, we sure need people in politics.
Definitely.
But it sucks because we're coming from the mud and we're trying to work our way up, and even if we're in there, like the people high up are just gonna keep pushing us down. Yo, man, it's tough to be Black, man.
It is tough, but we need more of us. I think if there's more of us fighting, it's usually, I find we have like 1 or 2 people that's fighting, and that's a lot for that 1 or 2 person to handle. So I feel like the more that we get involved, hopefully the better. But it is a tough road to go down. Now for some entertainment news. So I always start off with some sad stuff. I'm really sorry. But we did, again, lose some giants in the entertainment industry. So first up, Andre Leon Talley. So if you don't know, he is a big person in the fashion world. So he's widely known for being the former creative director at Vogue. He passed away recently at the age of 73. If you don't know Andre, but you want to get to know him, you could take a look at his documentary, The Gospel According to Andre Leon Talley, or his memoir that he came out with, The Chiffon Trenches, which is also out. And he speaks a lot about his childhood and the abuse that he went through.
Right.
But he is somebody who is amazing, and I always look forward to seeing his perspective on fashion and all the celebrities that came through for their different fashion looks. Another person we lost is Lucy Harris, who was the first woman officially drafted to the NBA. So she passed away at 66. So that's
young, man. God, we losing a lot of people here, man.
Definitely. She was drafted to the NBA in 1977. In the 7th round, she was the 137th overall pick for the New Orleans Jazz. She was actually representing the United States in the 1976 Summer Olympics in Montreal, which again, that was the first time the women's basketball had an opportunity to play in the Olympics. So she was a part of that as well. So she is someone that we should actually know more about. So hopefully she gets her flowers. Now
we need a whole garden. And shout out to friend of the show, Kim Hampton, WNBA Hall of Famer. So yeah, man, well, that's gonna be one of the topics in February too. the pay scale for women in sports.
Yeah.
And what should be done about that. So we'll have more discussion on that in February as well.
Definitely. Another thing that made news this week is rap music on trial. So there are a bunch of musicians: Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Fat Joe, Big Sean, Kelly Rowland, Robin Thicke.
Kelly Rowland, Robin?
Yeah, they're fighting to pass a bill that would prohibit New York prosecutors from using rap lyrics as evidence.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important bill. So the bill is going to be called Rap Music on Trial. So that's what they're fighting for. So they sent in a letter through Jay-Z's lawyer. And they're trying to get that passed in New York.
Yo, Jay-Z's a busy guy. You would think someone that came from the streets, made himself, worth billions. Your wife is worth crazy money too. Mm-hmm. You think he was just relaxed on the island, but he's still out there working. That's why when some people's like, oh my gosh, Illuminati, this, that, and I'm like, okay, so only when blacks are successful or exceeding their field, they have to be part of a secret cult to make this happen.
I mean, he could all be balanced.
Look at Lorena. Listen, Lorena's a big PR in the States, huh? Lorena might be privy to certain meetings. I'm not privy yet. When is my application being processed? Because I'm ready. Like I'm ready, bro. I've been at this a long time.
You said you're going to the lake house.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm going to the lake house. Well, you're not going to come visit? Is it too far in the woods?
Well, I'll visit in the summer.
Yeah, Lorena hates the cold,
I don't like the whole cold. But yeah, that's definitely happening. So a shout out to all the artists that signed that letter and that's getting that done. So speaking of the church, things are getting a little wild out here. So the lead pastor of Transformation Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma,
Bible Belt.
He gave a sermon in front of his congregation.
Church.
And he wanted to basically demonstrate the vision from God might get nasty. So in order to demonstrate that, he decides to spit in his hand and then rub it on another person's face.
You see, these are the people that are messing up the good book for people, because people hear these things and like, okay, everybody that's a Christian, everybody that follows the Bible is crazy like this. These guys are not real prophets. It's in the Bible. You must not follow false prophets.
Yeah, but he has a huge following. He even has a plan. I remember friends of mine, they were doing his plan.
I need a video.
Joined in.
He spit on the head of your face.
No, and he rubbed it in. He didn't just touch the person's face. He
These guys, and God talks to him. God told you to do that in 2022. I'm pretty sure God has an iPhone. Like he's updated to times. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and he's like a relationship expert, kind of like he does those things as well. But come to find out, because of course this went viral and people were like, yo, bro, what are you doing? The person that got the spit all over their face is actually his brother. Doesn't make it any better, but I'm just saying that's wild.
He thinks he's anointed now? He got the magical spit?
And then he did say in his video, he did apologize, and he said he called it too extreme and disgusting. But I feel like that's too late because social media was over him.
You know what I mean? These are people that kind of sully, the Bible experience. People like him, Derek Jackson, that kind of use the good book in vain.
Listen,
It's okay. You come to my church in the woods. I'm at my little lake house. I'm at my congregation of about 22 residents from the village. And you come to my church. Yeah, I think my later years that's what I'm going to do, man. I've been doing the Bible study. I see my angle. Imagine me hosting church on Sunday with the intro.
Turn your life around.
No,
give yourself to the Lord.
Listen, I think every day if you walk with a certain kind of level of integrity, you've given yourself to the Lord already. Like I don't have to profess and I give you scripture every day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I treat others the way I want to be treated. Shame on what's the line for Karis one? Shame on the nigga that gets a name on the nigga. Like, I don't profit off anybody. I do my own thing. I move the way I move. We smooth.
Well, that is the question of the day, guys. Would you go to Wheezy Moonchasers Church?
Look at this one throwing out thing. You go to my church. I did come up going past the outlet church on the carry. Mm-hmm. I was being groomed to become a pastor.
No, I know that. I just want to know if the public will be joining us, joining me in the summer, because that's when I'll show up.
Let me hit you with a follow-up question to that. So as you forget, it's a morning show. How far would you judge your pastor on his past transgressions?
On his past?
Yeah.
I mean, the past is the past. Like,
Oh man.
Would there be something where you're like, no, I can't go to him for praise and worship?
You can always come to me for praise and worship.
No, but like, is there a situation where you'll be like, oh no, this is too much?
No, ultimately, what are people willing to forgive at this point in 2022? What are people, because if I told you already, I'm gonna go crazy if I see one more rainbow stuff. I'm gonna go crazy. It's not going well.
Gosh.
But so answer the question, would you go to the Church of Moon One? It's only gonna last about 45 minutes.
Which is good, because a lot of times service could go for like an hour, 2 hours, 2 hours and a half.
Shout out to my sister Vicky, man. What a great support. She'll come to my church.
See?
Listen,
There you go.
quiet is kept. Quick story before we go into the Kanye, but we could tease at it. My sister gave me some rice and some bullet. I think my sister makes the best rice in the game, period. Like anybody I marry has to learn to make the rice from my sister Vicky. So I brought the rice. This is a Brenda story. So I know Brenda's already on the phone ready to dial me up. I bring the rice. I bring the durhi. My sister gave me sauce pois, and I got the boulette. I love my sister boulette. Oh man, it's great. My friend, my Haitian friend, she gave me some food as well the following day. Some rice. So now this is riz collect. So it's the rice and peas, but the Haitian version. And she made some cut up pork. I brought it home yesterday morning, put it in the fridge, and I went on the road. I never said nothing to Brenda. All day long, Maddie, I'm thinking about the food. Watch her. All day long, cue the Kanye.
Because she's like, stop spreading my business and stop playing Kanye on this show.
No, I was vexed. I was vexed for a minute last night. Look, I didn't even say nothing to her when I got home last night. All day I'm thinking about this food at work, Maddie. All day, so I'm on the road. I'm like, okay, tonight after I set up by Chandel, I'm gonna have this food. I set up by Chandel. I call Brenda. I say, listen, put the two things in one container. I just want to come and grip. I don't want to take off my Uggs. You know, my mom turned around and told me, oh, I thought you said it was for me. I ate it. And then she adds salt in the wound. She goes, it was so good. It was so good. See, Louina doesn't care. Louina likes my pain. Louina likes my plight.
Do you know how much she sacrificed for you?
Listen, I brought my mom nothing but bounty and joy. You know?
Are you sure about that?
Why not? Yo.
It's okay, Brenda. I'm on your side. I'm glad you enjoyed the food.
If I was Brenda, I'm like, God damn, my son is dope, man. You know, really from the streets, college educated, university educated. Look at my circle of friends. I got some of the most empowerment black women in my circle. It's a good look. I look good. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I'm a good look. If I was Brenda, I'm like, yeah, my son's a good look.
I would rather hear from her.
Listen, that's going to be a tale for another show. Now, listen. I'm about to get up. DJ Matt, you ready for me? I'm about to get up. It's about to get biblical in here. Yo, I love looking back at these videos and looking at Lorena's faces when I go off. This way, you know, she's been years in the game with me. She's been with me from time. DJ Maddie, bring me in, Maddie. Let's go. Let's do what we do. This is the new Kanye and Game. This is the reason why I love Kanye. Right here. That's what we gonna do.
The only drug is hip hop. We love this life. The Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM. Moon Jason, it's the Morning Detour.
My life was never easy.
We're coming to you live from DJ Kicks, the best morning show in the country.
My life was never
Listen, if you're a nurse right now, your life ain't easy. If you're a student right now in the virtual learning, your life ain't easy.
My life was never easy.
If you like Lorena and you miss your bus and you gotta wait outside for 30 minutes, your life ain't easy.
My life was never easy.
Hey, DJ Maddie, Guardians of the Galaxy. Virgin ain't gonna intro like this.
My life was never easy.
CJD won't even play.
Chronic puffing Biggie out the window, speaker subbing.
Yeah.
Running to the crypts, it ain't no discussion. Bullet wounds drenched in Hennessy and teaspoons of Robitussin. Head up fades, got a few concussion. Yeah, Compton's amazed, Dr. Dre percussion. God, please grant my nigga eternal life. We need the beats. Aftermath where you fall asleep, you do not eat. And my belly is full. Gorilla riding the bull. Banana clips in the pool. Swan diving, classy as all. The ops, I'm on they ass. Grandmama whoopings in school.
8:19 in the morning. No, we do things.
When niggas dying they jewels. Too many problems, too many YGs. So many ties to dollar signs, easy to end up on E. I got shot up like Columbine. The Crips descended on me. Saw my name on the dotted line. That was vengeance on beats. This is the way.
The best morning show in the country. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Never easy.
Yeah. If you're a Montrealer right now, your life is not easy.
My life was never easy.
Listen to The Honesty by Kanye. No. There you go.
There it is. There it was. Don't interrupt.
Yeah.
I ain't bring nothing to the table.
When I'm the table,
I'ma turn up the music. I ain't bring nothing to the table.
When I'm the table,
I'ma turn up the. I ain't bring nothing to the table.
Yeah.
When I'm the table, I'ma turn up the music. Wake up the neighbors. I'ma get that thug like chat across the table. Time in real life, not just on cable. I ain't bring nothing to the table. When I'm the table, I'ma turn up the music. Wake up the neighbors. I'ma get that thug life tatted across the navel.
The best morning show in the country.
Not just on cable. I ain't bring nothing to the table. When I'm the table, I'ma turn up the music. Wake up the neighbors. I'ma get that thug life tatted across the navel. It's how I am in real life, not just on cable. Mr. Narcissist. Tell me about my arrogance. No more counseling. I don't negotiate with therapists. God, yeah. Wanna let God in. But tonight, I guess I let my pride in. Cousin Dre send me scriptures of me. I ain't bring nothing to the table. When I'm the table, I'ma turn up
DJ
the music.
Maddie.
Wake up the neighbors.
We're coming to you live
I'ma
from
get
DG
that thug life tatted across the navel. It's how I am in real life, not just on cable. Mr. Narcissist. Tell me about my arrogance. No more counseling. I don't negotiate with therapists. God, yeah. Wanna let God in. But tonight, I guess I let my pride win. Cousin Dre send me scriptures, help me see life better. Nigga, we having the best divorce ever.
Yeah.
If we go to court, we'll go to court together.
Crazy.
Matter of fact, pick up your sis, we'll go to courts together. I watch 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids, I stopped taking the credit. Not custodial dad, I bought the house next door.
Yeah.
What you think the point of really being rich for? When you give them everything, they only want Gucci and a Rudy, y'all need to do some chores.
He was once up from around the
What's the point of being rich for?
My life was never.
I ain't bring nothing to the table. When I'm the table, I'ma turn up the music. Wake up the neighbors. I'ma get that thug life tatted across the navel. It's how I am in real life, not just on cable. Mr. Narcissist. Tell me about my arrogance. No more counseling. I don't negotiate with therapists. God, yeah. Wanna let God in. But tonight, I guess I let my pride win. Cousin Dre send me scriptures, help me see life better. Nigga, we having the best divorce ever. If we go to court, we'll go to court together. Matter of fact, pick up your sis, we'll go to courts together. I watch 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids, I stopped taking the credit. Not custodial dad, I bought the house next door. What you think the point of really being rich for? When you give them everything, they only want more. Bougie and a ruler, y'all need to do some chores. Rich ass kids, this ain't your mama house. Climb on your brother's shoulders, get that top ramen out. God sent me from that crash, just so I could beat Pete Davidson's ass. And my new bitch bad. I know Illuminati man. This that Illuminati bitch. This that triple got rich. This that God did this. Only God did this. There it is. There it was. Don't interrupt. Just because.
Yo, I like how you do that, DJ Maddie. You murdered that.
There's only one more chase. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. You love this life.
The Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
Yes, Montreal, my city. Welcome back to the Morning Detour. I'm your host, Weezy Mo Chaser. Let me tell y'all something, man. I've been biblical. I should have been a pastor or a preacher in my earlier years. This morning, we have a mother. She's an author. She just dropped a new book called Letters to the Father. It's deep on scriptures. I want to welcome to the show Zuri Blessed. Can we use your government name as well? Can we do a mix of two?
Sure. Why not? Go ahead.
So Alicia,
platform.
Welcome to the Morning Detour. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, man. We for those that don't know, me and Alicia, we went to high school together. Alicia, we never thought we would be here, right? Like you'll be on my radio show.
Never in a million years.
You'll be an author, like who could have conceived such a thing?
Nobody but the Father.
Hence why you wrote Letters to the Father. So you have a great book. You just wrote Letters to the Father. What led you down this spiritual journey, Alicia?
Well, actually, I was in a very dark place in my life. I was in, I had moved from Montreal with somebody I thought I would share my life with, came to Toronto with my son, literally picked up everything, tried to start something new. And, things always start out good in the end. I kind of lost faith with God, in my spiritual life. But, he has a way of bringing you back to him. So long story short, about 5 years after, I got into an altercation, basically, where my partner had physically assaulted me, which brought me down to my knees, essentially. And I went down a path of a healing journey, and it started with writing to the Father, because I had nobody to call on, but him. And essentially, it just kept growing from there. I've been writing for the last 3 to 4 years, and now it's led me to write a book.
Oh, man. Oh, that's profound. Well, first and foremost, I like to say, man, I'm sorry you had to go through all these trials and tribulations, but you know what they say in the book, he don't give you more than you can handle. And
that's right.
And like you said, you always go back to the Creator Almighty himself. So Letters to the Father. So now we know why you wrote the book. You know what I mean? It brought you back home. Did you always have?
It brought me back home.
Did you always have? You always had this quality about you that you wrote down your feelings. You wrote what what you had on your mind. Did you always have that kind of mindset about yourself?
Yeah, this actually started back in high school when we had a leave out violence program, because we had our days in high school that it's either you fight or you write. So for a lot of the times, like for me to take out my frustrations or, like you said, my feelings, my emotion, was to write it out. And I used to do a lot of poetry back when I was in leave out violence.
Yeah.
I got, like I said, out of touch with writing as well. So it kind of brought both of them back to me at this point, and knowing that I still had that creative skill.
You could have done an IG live. You could have gone live on Facebook. You could have created a vlog or a magazine, but you chose to write a book, Letter to the Father. I went through some of it. I'm not quite done the book yet. Deep stuff. The deep stuff. You might have to rewrite. You might have to rewrite the New Testament, Alicia. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's usually some intimate stuff that you would see me like praying to him, either in a troubled time or, whatever, because I was going through a lot. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to understand myself. And to me, writing it down, getting on my knees, and just being that real with him was something that, I think many of us do, but we never take the time to either express it or put it on paper. So to me, it was just lay it out there. And I'm always very transparent. So people, it's nothing new to them when they hear me speaking like this.
What you see is what you get. Let me just peruse. Right. Let me just peruse a little bit your table of content here, boy. Really, really dope stuff. So you have trust in the Lord. You have cast your worries. You have comfort for loneliness. Can you talk to me a little bit about comfort for loneliness? I didn't quite get there yet. Can you talk to me about
comfort for loneliness was, I was in a state where, after you get out of a relationship, you get lonely. And, God teaches us that it's better to be lonely than to have the wrong company in your bed. So, there was a time where I was like, where's my partner? Like, where's the person you have for me? Because I can't understand, like, I'm a good person, But in those times, it was like, I think it was, rather than just jumping into another relationship, he was calling me to draw closer to him. So it was like, okay, give me that comfort during this time. And then he makes you understand that, it's better to wait than to just jump in, do your own decisions, right?
We got one life to live. You don't want to waste on the wrong person. I know it sucks to be alone, but imagine sharing life with somebody that you don't even want to be with. That, to me, that's like a death sentence to me personally.
That's exactly it. And sometimes it's hard to choose because, one thing he teaches you too is to discern the spirit, because not everything you see is what you get. Some people are very deceptive and, they'll talk a good game. So spending that time with him will help you more understand and realize, who's who,
Boy, you have a chapter called Peace Be With You, Rejoice in the Lord, Prayer for Healing, New Life in Christ. Talk to me about agape love. Listen, I don't even know what agape is. I should have Googled it before I interviewed you. But I said, you know what? I like to learn. You know what I mean? Break it down for me, ma. Agape love.
So it's actually agape love. So agape love is godly love. And that's like the understanding. For me, it took me a while to understand what godly love was. Because we know, God loves his children and all these things. But he actually, dictates in the Bible how we're supposed to love one another, how a man should treat a woman, how a woman should treat a man. And for me, it was like, okay, when you finally understand that he has such a love for you, where he's protecting you, he's listening to you, he's, guiding you, he's like everything that he's doing is, like you said, he made man in his image. So a man should reflect, I believe, those statutes that he placed in the Bible. Yeah. And then from there, you would understand what real love is. And no matter who falls out in and out of your life, once you know he loves you, like you don't have that same kind of feeling of loss. Yeah. You feel grounded in him.
Oh, it's deep stuff. Me, myself, I came up in the church and, most recently over the last year or so, I went through some personal trials and tribulations myself. And shout out to my trainer, Kareem Rollins. Me and him started doing Bible study. And it wasn't for me like, I'm going to get close to God. Because, the Bible gets a bad rap because the bad apples just sour the whole pot for everybody. People take, guys like Derek Jackson, like people that use the word of God in vain. And then people take those people and say, well, they generalize it to everybody that worships God. The way I view the Bible, and I've been doing Bible study for about a year now, the way I look at the Bible is that it's a set of principles and you could take or leave what you want to take or leave. And that's how I view life. I take what I can apply to myself and I leave the rest. And that's how I view the Bible. It's a set of just stories, just showing you how to deal with other human beings. Now, that's exactly it. It's 66 books of people writing their story and how they live and how, like you said, principles, but like people become told into the religion aspect of it. And honestly, that's something I didn't want. So that's why I always want to be real about my journey, because I don't want to be like, oh, well, you're Catholic, you're Christian. No, it's like, hey, I fell to a point where I needed God. I believe there's a higher power. And right now, yes, I believe he would like us to follow those statutes to the letter, but we know there's only one perfect one, and that was Jesus. So for us, it's like you said, take what we can to live with morals and basic principles, and leave the foolishness behind. Well, you've seen the state of the world. I remember, I spoke about this on the show last week. I remember being in a service about a year and a half ago, and they were talking about when we come close to the end, what we're seeing right now. This is what's going to look like. People's morals are out the window. The whole world's in chaos, and it's not just one country, it's not just one region, it's not just one province. It's a group of people. I feel like morality is kind of gone in society, just in general, just on a person-to-person level. Put aside race, put aside socioeconomic class, put aside gender. Just on a human-to-human level, there's a certain level of decency that's gone, right? And that's exactly it. And this is why he calls his believers, his people, like he's trusting to say, hey, go and proclaim the gospel. Because he wants people to remember that at the end of the day, we're still the same. Like at the end of the day, like we need those morals. Yeah. But you see, the more and more that we're focused on media, we're focused on society, we lose those principles, because now rather than putting our security and our faith in him, we're putting in what we see, right? So then you just follow what you see, and then you say, if your morals are out the window, you see what's on TV now. You can't even watch things that are moralistic with children on TV anymore, right? Everything's out the window. Everything. It's not like how it was when we grew up, and it's sad to say, but Montreal, my city, if you're now joining me, I'm speaking to Zuri Blessed. She just wrote a book called Letters to the Father. Beautiful, insightful about scripture, her personal journey, her relationship with God, more importantly. Zuri, before I let you go, what would you like people to take away, after they're done Letters to the Father? My main takeaway is just when you're reading the letters, feel the pain, feel everything that's within it, because at the same time, I'm sure one or two or many other people have had the same kind of conversation with God, and he doesn't want you to be perfect. You don't have to write a book. You could sing a song, you could be dancing, you could be drawing, you could be doing. He just wants to bring out those creative skills, because, like I said, we get so trapped in this autopilot of living in society, like work, play, go home, like there's, you pay bills, you take care of your children, but then we lose ourselves, and essentially we can't lose ourselves because he's given us such a great earth to be creative with, right? Like if you look at the moon and the stars, that's all his creativity. If you look at each other, if you look how he created us as beings, like we're all his creative masterpieces. So what I want people to take away is that, number one, build your relationship with God, no matter how it is, whether it's one scripture a day, whether you're just talking to him in the morning, and don't lose sight of him no matter what circumstances you're facing, and bring out those God-given gifts that's dwelling inside of you. Amen. The book is called Letters to the Father. How can people purchase it? We're going to put the link up there on our social media, on the Morning Detour, on the Facebook, and on the Detour 514 on the IG. How can people put their hands on these beautiful scriptures?
So you can purchase the book on my website called Light of Zion Code. So before I actually became an author, I was a candle maker. So that was the first gift he brought up me. So you can either get candles and your book out there. So
I need some candles. I need some candles. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I love to set the mood. You know, Valentine's Day around the corner. We've been talking about it all morning over here. But thank you so much.
I got you.
Please come back to the show anytime you write something, anytime you have some more candles, anytime you have some enlightening. You know, he speaks to us in different ways, you know. So the book is called Letters to the Father. Zuri, blessed.
Get your copy.
Thank you for being on the Morning Detour.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There's only one more, Jason. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop. We love this life. It's the Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
In the case of symptoms similar to those of COVID-19, such as fever, cough, sore throat, loss of taste, or smell, you should take a rapid home screening test. If you test positive, isolate yourself at home and please follow the self-isolation instructions. If you don't have a rapid home screening test, please self-isolate for the recommended period. Visit quebec.ca/self-isolating for complete instructions on how to protect yourself and others. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
Good. Great. Not bad at all. A-okay. Tickety-boo. Fine, thanks. All good. It's going gangbusters. Just great. When people ask us how we're doing, we often say fine, even if it's not always the case. If you aren't fine, say something. To get help, call InfoSocial 811, because talking is the first step towards getting better. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
It's time to make an appointment for your booster dose against COVID-19. Visit quebec.ca/COVID vaccine to follow the vaccination sequence plan for your area and book your appointment online. To continue protecting yourself against COVID-19 and its variants, get a booster dose and keep following distancing measures, wearing a mask, and washing your hands. The booster dose, the best way to stay protected longer. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec.
Yes. 8:37 in the morning. I've been looking forward to this interview all week, Lorena. This is the one. On January 30th to February 2nd will be the B-STEM 2022. I guess like a virtual conference. So for those that don't know, STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, medicine, and health. We are fortunate this morning, Lorena, to have Dr. Lloydie Jerome Majewska. She's the associate professor in genetics, and I got some questions about genetics for her as well at McGill University. She's also the co-founder and secretary of, I think I wrote it down wrong, at CBSN. And they're doing the STEM, the B-STEM 2022. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you,
Listen, I'm great. Sorry, I messed up the thing. You're the co-founder and secretary of what again?
It's the Canadian Black Scientists Network, so CBSN.
Listen, doctor, I didn't even know we had one of those. Where do you guys meet? What's going on?
We decided, you remember July 2020 was a bit rough for our community.
Yeah.
And so a group of us got together and decided that we should try and figure out how many Canadian Black scientists actually are in here and doing science. And we started with 24 members at our inaugural launch on July 31st and one ally, and now we're over 300. So we're close to 370 members with 7 allies.
Well, listen, I'm about to go back to school and get a degree in science or technology or medicine. I want to join this exclusive group of Black scientists.
Yes, that's right. So this CBSN is for Black identifying scientists that are possessing or pursuing advanced degrees in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or medicine and health. They have to be working, learning, or living in Canada, or Canadians living abroad. So we actually have CBSN members all over the world, including the US, Spain, and Italy.
Look at that. Blacks in STEM. This is beautiful. So listen, you guys brought everything together from January 30th to February 2nd. Will be the BSTEM 2022. We're eager to talk to you about it. We're going to promote it. Montreal, my city. This is a beautiful, beautiful event. It's the first time you guys are doing this, right?
Yes, we are so excited because I think many of us as Black scientists have been to conferences where we have one Black scientist present or two in the whole conference. And we thought we'd change the script. So we're having a conference where it's Black identifying scientists presenting their work for the first 3 days. And on top of it, we're also having a transition to industry and entrepreneurship session that is being hosted by MyTax. We have a career fair where some of our partners are actually going to be interviewing scientists on that day. So bring your CVs, join the career science fair. And we're also having a final day where we would have a leadership summit on justice for Black Canadians in science. We have a full program. We're super excited.
See, Blacks in science, and we have a deep-rooted history in science as well. But I'll pass it on to Lorena. Let's get this going.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Thanks, guys.
I wanted to know because I think this is great. I have been telling people about this event that's happening. You did mention too, like on the fourth day, there's going to be, you'll be sharing best practices for action supporting justice for Black Canadians in STEM. So I just want to know and let our audience know too, like what are the different issues that you see that Black Canadians in STEM are facing?
So we have quite a large number, a lot of issues.
You took that deep breath. Hold on a second, doctor. You took that deep breath. Like, listen, I'll call the station. We'll get an extra hour for you here. You took a deep breath. We're under a lot of duress, Black scientists, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And so some of the things that are making our numbers small include the fact that there are negative biases about Black people. Yeah. And so this leads to challenges for fair assessment, right? So there's this deficit narrative. So there are Black students who are interested in sciences who are being told that because of their color of their skin, that they shouldn't pursue this, right? There's the fact that once Black Canadians or Black scientists actually make it into this field, there are aggressions, discrimination, discouragement, unfair assessment. And so we have to really make people aware that there's this idea of unconscious bias, and some of it are actually conscious, that we cannot support that. And then when we look at the data to look at how Black scientists do once they are within these fields, we find that they're not funded at the same numbers as white or non-Black scientists. They're not promoted to the same extent. They're not getting paid the same amount for doing the same work. And then as scientists, sometimes they're asked to do even more, right? To represent everybody, to sit on every committee, and then you don't get paid as much. So that's crazy. I mean, anyways, the list can go on.
Oh boy.
So what we're about right now, is really elevating. So to increase the intake and retention of our Black youth in STEM, we want our students and our children to know that we're here, they belong, they can be here, they can succeed and pursue science if they're interested in it. We want to increase representation of Black Canadians in the researchers and practitioners. You know, Lorena, this morning, I think you were talking about you can't have just one person doing all the work, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we're getting a group of folks together. It's like we're all going to be out there pushing for representation. And we want to advocate for equitable practices in funding and awards. It's not fair that we do the same work and we don't get the rewards. And so that's really why we came together as a network, because we think there's power in numbers.
Well, even if you guys coming together, it also shows, because you know one of the prejudices a lot of groups that aren't Black say about Black people is that we can't work together. Yep. And look at you guys. You guys are Black scientists, doctors, so forth, engineers, and you guys came together and said, you know what? We're not going to wait for somebody else to come to the table and say, we're going to put this group together. Us as Blacks professionals, we came together, and we're going to educate the young, and educate like-minded people. It's a beautiful thing you guys have going on. I want to join. I'm going to become a scientist. I'm going to take a course at McGill. Do you guys take project managers?
We're a diverse group of scientists. We don't turn people away who are interested in the sciences. And, the sciences extend beyond just engineering and physics, right? So we've got people doing science education, because those people are just as important to make sure that our youth continue in the sciences. So yeah, come join us.
Oh, see, there you go. There's your invitation.
Listen, I want to come to the little meet and greets where all the scientists and engineers and medical folks all together, all the blacks are in there, just to feel the smartness in the room. Because me and Lorena talk about this often. One of the drawbacks living in Canada, we don't have an HBCU. And I think with the group that you guys have created, I think this is going to lead to steps towards Canada actually having a historical black college at some point.
Well, you know,
you see, that seems like yes, we need that right now.
All right, well, we'll put it on our list. We have, I mean, there's so many different avenues to go, right? And we need that energy, and that we don't know where we'll end, but we're making sure we're making a splash with BSTEM so people know that we're here and we're not going away.
Okay, so before the step of creating like your own school, I wanted to know, I know it's a bit tough right now because of the restrictions that we have, but will you all be doing anything within the schools throughout the year? Because I just remember being in high school and there was certain events that my guidance counselor looked out for like Black students to go to so that we can see people in different positions that look like us. So I just wanted to know like if you all would be doing something within the schools this year or maybe in the future.
Actually, we already started a youth chapter. And so we think that it's really important to start at all stages, right? And so we have members that are mentoring students, but we also have partnerships with youth groups. And so this has been going on mostly in Dalhousie and a little bit more in Toronto. And so there are specific members of our steering committee, like Kevin Hewitt from Dalhousie, who are charged with this. And so the science fair program that we're going to have actually are high school students, and they're going to be doing some science and presenting and being judged, and we're going to support them all the way through to the big national science fair that other students can participate in. So we're very active in that. We also had a youth conference not that long ago where we had members talk about their journey to stage students. And so, no, we believe that we have to do the full spectrum, right? We can't just focus on senior researchers. So we're going from high school all the way up.
You gotta be careful, Lorena. You know, some of these Black Canadians in science, some of them are researchers and stuff, so they're very detailed. So when y'all come together, you know, see, she's laughing. They know y'all have this mapped out to the T. You guys have had the hypothesis. You guys have tested out the thing. Y'all got engineers that came in and inspected gadgets, the whole joint. I feel so proud right now as a Black person. This is crazy.
No, it's great to see.
I'm actually one of those scientists that are into detail. So what I know. I'm a genetics embryologist, and so I look at how development happens using embryos, right? So I could go into that, but that's not what I'm here about.
No, hold on. No. We'll touch on that a little bit because you went to school, you worked hard, you got your degree. We'll talk about the genetics a little bit. Montreal, my city, for now, join us. We're speaking with Dr. Lordy Jerome Majewska. She's the associate professor in genetics. From January 30th to February 2nd, there'll be the Black Canadians in Science, STEM, BSTEM 2022, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, Medicine, and Health. It's the first virtual conference highlighting Black excellence, and you know I'm all here for it. Doctor, what led you to go into genetics? Because it seems like even as I think about it, I never associated Blacks in science and genetics together. Like I never said, "Oh, this genetics." How do you say the word, Lorena?
Genetics?
No, geneticist, like someone that performs.
Geneticist?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like when my mind thinks of it, doctor, I'm not even thinking of a Black person. See, I've been conditioned as well. Like I'm not even thinking about that, but now I have a broader spectrum of it. What led you to go into genetics?
So this started pretty early, right? So like most kids who were really interested in science, I kind of wanted to be a doctor. And it turned out that I don't like blood and I don't like hospitals. So pretty quickly after my first stint at an ER in Queens, New York, I realized that wasn't going to be where I was headed. And I was lucky. And I think that's what we have to change, right? So I was lucky and I was able to find mentors who supported me, who said, hey, come into my lab, do some, research as a college student. And I fell in love. I honestly thought this was the best place to be. So I'd go to, the parties, and then afterwards I'd go back to the lab because I had experiments, and that's what I was excited about. So when I went to Columbia for my PhD, the project that was there really was about, babies with deformities. And I wanted to understand why that was going on. And so at that time, we just, tried to look at the embryos and understand what went wrong. And now we can do so much with genetics. It's like a playing field, right? So you can engineer mutations, you can identify mutations in patients. And so that's a large part of what my lab does. We look for what kind of genes are mutated in babies that give malformations, and then we engineer those mutations in mouse to ask, when do things go wrong as the babies are growing? And so I don't understand why, we can't have more Black folks doing this. When I went to Columbia, actually, there were 2 of us, right? And that was outstanding back 20-odd years ago. I'm not going to tell you how old I am.
No, you look great. You look great. We posted a picture. You look great. The locks is beautiful. Your voice is amazing.
Thank you.
I'll listen to a genetics podcast with you if you're talking about genetics. But I want to ask you this quick question, doctor. I remember watching a documentary on Annie, and it said that all human beings, we have like one strand of DNA that's all the same. Is that true?
I don't think it's one strand of DNA that's all the same, but if you look at any one person, so you go from me to you, 99% of our sequence are similar.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But they divide us on race.
Well, what's really cool about genetics is that we're all so similar. And then we all, even within families, have these, specific mutations or changes in our DNA that makes us us, right? Because we're not the same as the next person. And so what I can't understand is why can't we also treasure that? So we're all the same, but we have our singularities that makes us special, right? So why do we walk away from that? Anyways.
Listen, don't worry. I'm going to have you back on for Black History Month. I love everything you're saying. You're a Black professional. Let the people know one more time how they can subscribe to the virtual conference. It's BSTEM 2022 from January 30th to February 2nd. It's Black Canadians in Science, the first virtual conference highlighting Black excellence. How can someone sign up to take part in this beautiful event?
So go to our website. You can either go to the Canadian Black Scientists website, or you can actually go to BSTEM 2022. Just Google that, and it will take you to the registration page. And so I want to highlight, we are Black scientists that are presenting, but this conference is open to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a very small fee of $40 to $45.
That's reasonable.
So come and join us.
Listen, I'm definitely going to take part in that leadership summit. I want to see what it is because real quick before I let you go here, I was speaking to another fellow scientist that you guys have in the group there. I was speaking to Sabby the other day, and she said, do you ever notice when we were in college and university that anytime you see posters of Black people on the walls, like student athletes or that, it's only in the athletic section. When you go in the science section or any other section, you never see posters with Black people on it.
Well, we're going to change that, right? Because we exist. We've been around. We've been around for years. And if you look at the history, there are Black scientists that have made major contributions to, and we need to hear those voices too, and for our students to see them and know that they belong.
Well, listen, man, God bless you guys and the whole crew over there, man. It's beautiful. Canadians, Blacks in Science, BSTEM 2022. I'll be joining in from January 30th to February 2nd. Black Canadians in Science, first virtual conference highlighting Black excellence. You can find the link on our page on the Morning Detour on Facebook, and we'll put the link up there in the bio on our IG, Detour 514. Dr. Lodi Jerome Majewska, I appreciate you. Please come back next month. We got to talk some more.
No problem. And then I can really let you know what I think about it. So keep the joy, though. I'm really enjoying the music, and you guys are doing a great job for the community. So thank you for having me.
DJ Maddie says she loved the music. He got a new toy. What's this joint called that you got? He got like a new mixer board thing, so he's been going off. And I'm always biblical with my Kanye in the morning. But thank you for tuning into the show. McGill needs to play it for all the students to hear. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're the only Black morning show. I think I'm top rated in the country. So that's what we do. Me and Lorena, we built it. That's what we do.
That's the thing. We've got to build stuff, right? So you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor. Montreal, my city. I've been talking to Dr. Lodi Jerome Majewska, Associate Professor in Genetics. They're doing the BSTEM 2022, Black Canadians in Science. STEM stands for Science, Technology, and Engineering, Mathematics, Medicine, and Health. We do have a lot of Black professionals in those fields, and it's going to be a beautiful virtual conference. So the link is up there on our Facebook page, The Morning Detour, and Detour 514. We're about 6 minutes. Looking kind of sunny. I think it's still like minus 30 billion. DJ Matt, you got something for me? What you want to do?
Yeah, it's supposed to be minus 30 today.
Larina's out there. Larina's like, yes, it is minus 30. I got the goose. I got the sweat. I got the jean jacket. DJ Matt, you take me out. Thank you much on my city. It's been a beautiful 2 hours. Catch us next week. We're gonna talk about Valentine's Day, giveaways, all of that. It's The Morning Detour, the CKT 9.3 FM.
There's only one Mo Jason. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop.
We love this life. It's The Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
There's only one Mo Jason. Nobody's this hyped this early. They say I'm on drugs. But my only drug is hip-hop.
We love this life. It's The Morning Detour on the mighty CKT 90.3 FM.
I say my baby, you know Sunday or when you coming like a yeta when you, and if you leave I could take you, shake you, I still the start of your case you can make a mistake you, and if you leave I could press you, been a setup, you don't do your booty now your body better, I no believe I never make a no regret. Every day different palava. The other day when I jam Natasha, she say I give y'all a day banana. But no be me to my mom, na. One time for my baby, you know Sunday or when you coming like a yeta when you, and if you give I could take you, shake you. Still they start in your case, you can no go make a mistake, and if you leave I could race you. Come they move like a disco. One nick in Malalata. Happy boss, happy actor. Set up to be ball under. Oh, yeah, come take a picture. Run right now, young fire. Oh, yeah, follow my. One in a million, no. It's special to me, no. One in a million, no. Special to me, no. Ain't nothing average. Love the way you whine your way. And you say you're messing up the place. Then I say them good, but some of them not good yet. It's a real bad girl, me have to get. Wind up your waist for the hot girl. Ain't no fun without a bad girl. Chop it down low, go down. Shake your money, make a girl touch the gun. Girl, you a real party animal. The way you whine is phenomenal. Shake the money, make a girl touch the gun. Chop it down low, go down. Na. Working the na. Working the na. Hope you are ready, cause I'm ready. Party a turn up. Please crazy. Party a turn up. Please crazy. Boy. Have some cash on me hide. Be a girl a call, can't wait till a Friday. Place crazy. Boy, big fat Benz on the highway. Pull up on the clearport jet, just a flyway. Place crazy. We are turn it up on the weekend. 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 Everybody fucked up on the weekend. Them three girl that I'm a freak. And thank God for the life I'm living. We are get fucked up this weekend. And I dive it, get deeper. Make it come so much you ain't leaving. Say a nigga not around, we need it. And it's done that I dig up off decent. I go with a sweet thing, no sleeping. Bad cat like Felix with a feeling. You got something worth stealing. Lock up in my bedroom for safekeeping. Lock hot like summertime season. Cops caught and I ain't speaking. Gunshot, forget to tell people. Cop drops, no, I ain't leasing. Yeah, your body nice. Even if you're wrong, you're right. Cause your body, you know, yeah. And your outfit mad. From the shoes to 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 the shoes.